Hello, and welcome back to Satisfactory. In our last episode, we ran around the base and tried to find areas where we might have had a incorrect belt speed, slowing everything down, or other similar types of problems. I think we might have caught them all. If not, we'll catch them soon enough. So today I wanted to start looking at hypertubes and where we might want to run the hypertube network around at the base. But first, before I forgot again, because I recorded yesterday's episode after the new patch dropped this week, but I forgot to talk about the new train station meshes. So I am standing here staring at them right now. They look pretty sweet. They look much more fix-it, I guess, for lack of a better word. They seem to fit more with the sort of theme of everything else that we're building here. I wanted to also make sure that this was all working correctly. Since they changed the mesh, they said that everything should work correctly, but okay, where's the thing at? Maybe I can't click it because of the animation? I could click it just a few minutes before I started recording. Maybe it's because the train is here. There we go. Okay, it did completely fill up the freight platform. That's what I was hoping for. So that's what I wanted to make sure, is that we were filling everything up, or filling this up still and maintaining it, even with the changes that were made. So hypertubes, as you can see in my toolbar, I have reset up my hypertube toolbar. I'm not sure what other components I might need on this toolbar, but at least we need some combination of those four, give or take. They need a lot of pipes. And if you recall, pipes were one of the things that were struggling the most in the end of the last episode. But as I noticed, there were a lot that made their way into the storage bins. So I'm going to go collect those now. Storage bins in the mall. Probably before we turned everything on entirely, what was on the belt, that kind of thing. And as we were plugging everything else in, because the pipes are one of the first ones we plugged in right here. So we can gather these up. We have quite a few, and as you can see, the number is not increasing. So that means that the smart splitters are working as hoped. Nope, don't climb the thing, Wally. So let's look at what we might want to do for a hypertube network. And remember, all hypertubes are going to be on line 4, on stackable number 4. I know that I want one coming over here. I think I will probably make it dump out somehow here onto the ground. Maybe even stretch it over here somehow. Maybe I should add the regular belt stackable to like number 5. That way I can grab it and build 1, 2, 3, and then switch to the hypertube one there like that. At least that seems to make some logical sense to me. So how to terminate these? I think the best way to terminate these is probably just to bring them down like this. I want to see what these look like here, but I need to have a little bit more room. So we might want noodle for these. Like, that might just be fun to have noodle because they kind of have a little bit of smoothness to them. Like, vertical would be too jerky, I think. Default would be okay. 2D might be okay, but I think noodle is the way we want to go with hypertubes. They just scream noodle to me. So I think let's go with noodle. And I think we'll do maybe something like this. And then that can go out into the rest of the base. And then we just need to have the little ring here. And I wonder if I should just put the power cable on this one too. That might make some sense as well. Let's do that at 6. Because when you're building these, you need to have power. And of course we need to have a Mark II power pole here. When you're building these, you need to have power to connect to them anyway. So I think that makes some sense. What is that going to do if I jumped into there? But I don't want these like facing each other because I don't want them shooting me into one and the other. Because I might want to change directions and such. So Spunk. That's awesome. Okay. So, I think... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's actually going to be slightly too long because I had to come back from the edge. So we will have to go through this one, which is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's this here. Or should be, hopefully. If I remember, if I counted correctly. And I'm just going to continue these along toward the mall. Because that'll be kind of like my hypertube hub. For lack of a better word. Two, 3, 4. And I like how you can easily replace these like this, at least. There are areas, of course, that I would like to be able to do similar things easier. Is that right? I sure hope it is. And so my next spot is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think it is. So I definitely don't want to go that far. So I think I will put another stackable, like right here. Yeah, that's a good place, because I kind of centered on this line here. This line here where my mouse now is, instead of when I was waving it earlier and saying this line. No, I don't want that. So I think we'll put another one here, but only go up to level 4. 2, 3, 4 again. Hopefully that doesn't collide with much. Or anything. Good. Excellent. And then I'll bring these down just like the other side over there. Actually, let's go look at how far out I went, because I liked the look of that, and maybe that'll be a consistency that I can follow with the way that these are brought down and curved. So I have them going a half of a foundation and basically half a foundation. I mean, this is again off by 1 meter here, so it's off by 1 meter here, but I think that makes some logical sense without having even really tried before. So let's stick with the logic that seems to work. So since we're at this point here, we go half a foundation, excuse me, and then half a foundation, and then we can spit it out right there like that. And then we need a entrance ring, and then we need power. So the last power that I have is right there. Should I bring... Oh, there should actually be a power pole here. Because this should be... This is the next standardized spot here. So that's fine. And then maybe I just put one here to connect this guy to. And then this one, which I intend to go this way down, to kind of continue down. Actually, let's ride it. Let's make sure it works. Make sure it works. Ah! That's the only thing that I don't like about hypertubes, is that if you square yourself in it, you're looking at whatever's above you. And it would be nicer, I think, if you were actually in the tube with your body. But, so, I think that works out well. That felt right. Why does that one look like it's opaque? Oh, that one does now too. Weird. Should be something with the shading. Like a graphical thing. Yeah, because it's clear now. But if you come off to the side here, I mean, it looks fine, but I would rather kind of be able to look down the tube and ride the tube if I had the choice. But I think that works. That felt good. 2, 3, 4. And it's also kind of a school of fours here. Like it's let me see here. This one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 meters this way. 1, 2, 3, 4 meters that way. 1, 2, 3, 4 stackables high. You get the idea. Anyway, let's do this here, which I think will be good. And then we can continue this one along. This one is not real. Well, it's real, but it's not the regular one, so we'll skip it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take that guy out. And then we can take the hypertube back to there. Encroaching? With whom are you encroaching? Oopsie. Well, I guess we can test it better now. Is it... encroaching and others clearance. Not there. It's here. Because I can place until I get all the way over to where that even into that stackable, all the way until I get into that other that lift. But this one just does not like me. Probably shouldn't have put the entrance ring on there yet. Let's take that off so I don't get sucked back in. How about if you start from this side? Thank you. Autosave. Oh, is it encroaching on that splitter? No-ish? Oh, maybe it is. I wish it was easier to tell. It is. I can see it now. I just needed to get down here further. So that splitter. 2, 3, 4. Can I... What is that? That's fabric. Can I hack this in? Let's take this belt out. Let's replace this down here. Where are you at? You are here. Okay, that is correct. Let's take that one out as well. We'll take the splitter out now, and this this belt here. And then let's put the hypertube in. Now, can I build... So it's 1, 2, 3... 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I need to switch toolbars here. Oh, it's not there, it's over here. Okay. So I may have to cheese them through a little bit by putting the hypertube in before I put in the whatever else. Now the problem is I have now a pocket full of fabric that I can't get rid of because, yeah. So yeah, we may have to do that a few times, and if it gets too much, then I can do that a little bit off camera and come back. Let's see, we are here. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I think it's okay. Yeah, hopefully we will. Oh, we shouldn't hit that one ever again because that belt stopped there. But yeah, you can see it's kind of clipping a little bit right there. Let me get the jetpack out so we can see a little bit easier. It's kind of clipping a little, but we're not gonna pay any attention to that. We're gonna let that slide. Yeah, we're gonna let that slide. And we'll pretend that it's not clipping because it really shouldn't be. I mean, the hypertube should be a little bit lower, I think, or those should be a little bit differently shaped so that you could do that without it clipping, because they're in a separate sort of zone or whatever, and I don't think they should be clipping. So we're gonna say that they're not clipping even though they are. Wait, they're not. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. In there. And I like how with the hypertubes, it's a hypertube entrance, implying that, and truthfully implying, that the exit doesn't matter. The exit end doesn't matter. You need to have the entrance there and powered to get out of the hypertube, but you don't need it there, let alone powered, or to get into the hypertube, sorry, but you don't need it there, let alone powered, to get out of the hypertube, which is a really nice sort of feature of the hypertubes, I think, at least. So I want this to go, I think we talked about it the last time, but I basically want it to go all the way to the end and then kind of go off the end and without even stopping. Like, unless there was anything along this path that we needed to be able to stop at, and I don't think there really is. And even if there were, I don't know that I would want to. On this line, I want this line to kind of be an express lane to the end of the factory there, and actually to the ground floor on the end of the factory there. I think the only thing that I might consider stopping for on this side of the bus is wherever the AI limiters are made, which is back here a little bit. And that's because I don't have those going into the mall. And they are used for something small. I can't remember even what it was now. I think we talked about this in a previous episode too, that I can't even remember what it is that they were used for, that we weren't going to need. So I didn't want to put them in the mall because we weren't going to need that thing. At least that much. And the other thing would be like screws, which we're currently using. Rotors, I think, is the only place we're actually making screws. So maybe I would have a pipe that, or a hypertube that would stop somewhere near rotors as well, in case we ever needed screws for something, which is probably somewhere between rare and never. But 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3. But I think I would potentially put a stop there, but we can run that down either bus B or C, because we're going to have another express tube going down bus A that takes us down where that other tube comes up. Somehow we have to figure that part out yet. And then put this one on the edge, or next to the edge, I should say. This is going to be a fun one to ride, by the way. Can't afford. We're out of copper sheets. Okay, back to the mall. I'll make the run, and then I will meet you guys back here momentarily. Okay, so I'm back here at the mall, and I just had a thought that I actually didn't have to pause and go away, really, for that run, if I didn't want to, or if you didn't want me to, because I can actually get back down to the other end very quickly by using the hypertube. Oh yeah, that was a little bit sticky, getting through there, but it's okay. It felt rough getting through there. Kind of weird how it's kicking me over to the side every time I go through one of the supports. Thunk. Ooh, that would have been bad. Okay, hypertube. Go that way. And no, I am not going to shoot myself out of the hypertube. Well, I might later, but I'm not going to shoot myself out of the hypertube right now off into oblivion. So let's make let's take the express lane down. And then we're gonna have to figure out how to. We're probably have to come back up to take this back down. But we'll figure that out when we get down there, I think. Although maybe I should have done this one. No, because I want A to go over there. So we'll keep this here. It's fine. But I may do like a crazy thing and hook it onto the end of that one, that bottom of that one down there. Let's see. Let's take this fast lane down here. Hit the brakes. Come in here. It might be kind of fun to hook it. Well, I guess I would want it down on this level, wouldn't I? At eye level or whatever, because this is where it's going to end. So I think yeah. So if I put this here, I in fact could have brought that with me. The only other question is, do I want to stop on this level for any reason? I think the answer to that's going to be no, but what I could do is have a second tube next to that one that just goes up to there from here. Like, that will bring me all the way down to the bottom, and then if I wanted to go to the mid-level, I could go to the mid-level. I think that might make some semblance of sense. Let's put the Caterium shoes back on. And then we have this one, which is I'm going to use this one to get back up right now. And then we'll sort of run across to the other side. Hey, look, now we can be in the tube with our person. On the vertical ones, that's kind of what I want, but not so much on the horizontal ones. Okay, so we grab the end of that tube right there. Actually, let's put the rocket shoes on first here. And we grab the end of this tube here, please. Thank you. Okay, good. And we're still in noodle mode. And then we can jump. Okay, good. And how does that look? I wish I could see how it looked. But let's just say that that looks good there without looking at it. Because we can't see it. Oh, that is gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Okay, now we gotta ride the whole thing. I'm gonna spend more time riding these things in this episode, I think, than I'm gonna spend building them. But let's hop on anyway. And we can actually turn around. We don't have to go the whole way. Yes, that is gorgeous. So if you hit the down arrow, well, the down, S by default, you can actually stop and then turn around in the tube. So, and then we pick up speed coming down from the top, which is pretty awesome too. Okay, so if I wanted to do this intermediary here, we would want to have it be at this height, of course. And then we want to have it going up there. I don't think I can make that flight with the jetpack. I don't think I think it's too tall. So let's go kind of the slow way. Nope, let's put the Caterium shoes on. And go kind of the slow way? Yeah, I guess. Up the stairs. I mean, it's only 40 meters or something, so it's not a super slow way, but yeah. Sorry, this is the dizzy mode here, especially with the thing in front of us. Okay, and then this takes me, and the only reason to use this level would be if we needed to do any sort of work on upgrading or something. This coal belt here. So this should be the spot right here. I hope. I don't know if there's any way that I can actually look at it. No, it's not the spot. Because it should be over here. Now the question is... Oops, that's not the right thing. This thing here. Can I... I should be able to just kind of make the jump here. From this level down. Yeah, and we want this... Not this side, but that side. And that's glorious, too. Like that nice noodle curve there. So this needs to be a power pole. Jeez, oh Pete. Mark II. In order to connect this entrance to it. And then we don't have power up there. That's the problem. I mean, it's not a huge problem because we can run power up there. But we need to get up there to do it, I think. Yeah, that feels really nice. Okay. Let's do number 6 here. And can I hit? Yes, I can. Can I hit that? Got it clipping. Oh. Going so well. What's going to ruin it now? Alright, so I think that makes at least some logical sense. I'm tempted to also go like from here down to there with a hypertube. We could even put it 1, 2, 3. Could we put it on top of this and make it look decent? Not with the entrance the way we had been doing them. But what if I did something like this? No, that would be insane. Because of that being across from that one. What if I did something like this? How does that look? That looks kind of delightfully insane. But I like it. Is there a point to this one? Perhaps. Is it fun to do anyway? Definitely. Okay, so let's do it. You've convinced me. There. And we're just going to go each one here along the way. Thank you, autosave. And then maybe we'll kind of end up there on that platform. And it might be good to do another hypertube coming down from there, up from above rather, down to here, instead of having to use that staircase. Because who wants to use a staircase when you can use hypertubes? Did I plug in the other end of that one? I don't think I did. Let's see. Now I think we want to go up there. Because the only point to coming in this area would be to do something on this stuff. So maybe we take... Oh, and that's even the right height, too. That's, like, kind of creepy. That. And then we do this to... Where's our power pole at? Ooh, right there. Nice. So this... And that noodle mode really makes that look kind of neat, I think. The curve's really neat. So we're going to go down here and power this other end. So I'm going kind of overboard, I would say, on the... ooh, that is fun. On the hypertubes, but I think it's worth it. Because, well, they're hypertubes. They're fun. Okay, so from here... I think I want to go back up and start working on the connector for this one. Let's go this way, just to play with this one, and then we'll go this way. Go all the way back. All the way back. You can see our Caterium shoes are sticking out. They still haven't fixed that bug. All the way back to the mall, and start working on the next tube down the other side of the bus to go toward the other part of downstairs. And this is where something like signs would be useful in the game. Because right now, unless you remember where all these hypertubes go, there's nothing telling you where they go. And I think it would be nice to have something that says, hey, this hypertube goes to connect you to the oil refinery and ground floor nearby, or something like that. Hey, this one takes you to the coal mines and excuse me, and you know, the coal power plants, or you know, whatever, the north end of the coal power plants. And then, oh hey, this one over here that we're going to put up now, this one takes you to the south end of the coal power plants. So that would be something that, you know, I know people have been asking them for signs, and I know there's reports or requests or whatever on their questions site. But if anybody from the dev team are watching at Coffee Stain, that's why we want signs. At least that's why I want signs. I don't know about anybody else. But see, let's put this here. We'll do the same thing. I still want them pointed toward the mall. I mean, technically I could be coming from this way wanting to go there just as easily, but for argument's sake, I want it pointed toward the mall. And by the way, we'll also have one probably going in this area somewhere to take us upstairs somehow. So we'll have to work on that one yet too. Let's put an entrance in here. Let's bring the power down to here. How badly is that going to clip? We're going to call that rubbing and not clipping. Maybe? No? Where does that actually connect at? It connects at nowhere. That's why. It's kind of like a vague, it doesn't really connect anywhere connection. Alright. You've convinced me. I will put in a separate power pole, like here, and then connect that in. Yeah, it kind of connects into an invisible place somewhere in the middle of it. But that's fine. I don't care about power poles. Boink. Boing. Okay, sorry. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, and you're number 4 here. We'll have to watch out. We might hit another splitter issue with that one, I think. Yeah, I think it's that one. It's going to be a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's another one right there. So we have a couple for this one. But they were easy enough to fix. Yeah, we're clipping right there. Okay, so this is This is gunpowder, and this one is just a regular splitter because it's just a terminus kind of situation. But this one also is going to be a problem. So let's also prep this one here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we can cut this belt here. And then I can try and let this one drain out if it's still getting used for... it looks like pipe bombs, yeah. And then I might be able to... Yes, they are pipe bombs. And then I might be able to kind of repurpose... I should have done maybe this... I didn't need to do that part, I guess. Get that. This goes here, coming from this way. Now stop there. And then this one is here. Also coming from that way. Stop there. How are you doing on the gunpowder? Okay, it's slowly getting used. I'm just going to have to take it out. We have a stack, or a lift there. Take that out. Because there's a buffer in the splitters, that's why. What I can do is I can try and run over there and put whatever gunpowder I have in my inventory here. I have 50 into those two machines before I finish hooking up the stuff here. Okay, so you get to go here. And then we continue this along to here. Oh, there's another one right here. I didn't even notice. Shoot. Okay, so this one needs to go out as well. I should have noticed that. And you, and we're gonna have lots of gunpowder now. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, and 4 is here. That one. You go. I should have put down a splitter before I did this. And that should go right there. Oops, don't delete the power line, Wally. You will cause major problems. Okay, so this can come back. Mark 1 belt, I think is what that is. Yeah. That goes there. And then this goes into there. And then this goes into a splitter. But it's not centered. I think that's kind of the problem. Let me put the jetpack on so we can jump up there and see. As you can see, it's not centered like in the hole where the belt goes, where the stuff goes on the belt. So I think if they kind of dropped it down that, you know, what might be like a half a meter in the game, I think then it would be more, it wouldn't clip. And that's kind of the crux of the problem here. So I'm going to say that it's not clipping because it shouldn't be clipping and move on with my life here. After I grumble about it a little bit more. So you, there, there. And then I took that out already. So let's take this, that. That goes there. And then before I hook up the lifts, go here and dump as much of... Nope, not that one. Much of the stuff as I can into here, which isn't much. And I dump any into this other one. Not really, because the belts are still emptying of the stock that they had. I mean, this one's empty now, so it should be pretty easy. But that one is still... No, it's actually not filling up. So it's just a matter now of kind of time. Or I could just dump it in the shredder. I'll just dump it in the shredder. Who cares? Okay. Let's see. You're over here. The Mark 1 lift. And this should just snap in. Yep. And then this one is here. And it just snaps in. Yep. Okay. So that takes care of the hypertube so far. Now this, and we need to get rid of that hyper tube too, by the way. This one still needs to go quite a way. Still going. 2, 3, 4, right there. And this, and then power lines are kind of in the way. There. And it needs to be somewhere in this general vicinity, probably just passing straight through here. So if I just used this literal spot right here, let's just say that. If I did this, that's kind of clipping. Look what this looks like, though. I mean, that curve is good. I like that. It does bulge out a little bit here before it curves around there. But I think we could just bring this 1 meter closer in this direction so that we can use, so we don't clip into that lift. We're clipping through the power pole though, so I don't like that either. Or power line, excuse me. So I don't like that either. Maybe we just bring it back by a meter as well, this way. Or out by a meter. That might actually be better, out by a meter. The thought being that maybe it'll do a little bit less of that bulge curve. Maybe. Let's see what that looks like. A little bit less. Not much less, but a little bit less. Alright, so then we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. And then this one I'll put here. Nope, not the hypertube support. Sorry. I'm sorry. It goes off by one, off center by 1, 2, 3, and this one. Did I accidentally center that one? No, I didn't. Okay, good. And then this can just come down 1 meter behind this. Then I have enough power there for that. I think I will change this to use that power pole. And do I want this break to be here? Or do I want it to just keep continuing on down? Is there any reason to stop at this end here? I don't think so. So maybe I want it to just keep continuing down. Trying to decide. In the meantime, I can probably delete some of this stuff while I'm thinking. I mean, this is making turbo motors. This is motors. I don't see any reason to stop here. And we have this whole area that I didn't even end up using, but we needed it originally, so I think we can probably replace this tube here. Take this out. Take this out. Actually, I won't even take it out. And just put this up. Oh, no, we're encroaching, so I guess I gotta take it out. Can I do it without taking that part out? Yes, I can. It's kind of goofy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. How does that look connected to there? That looks good. I like it. So now, can I connect that down to wherever that goes? Yes, but I need to take the express lane down there. We'll do this. And then brake hard. So this kind of brings us down to this side of the coal generators that, by the way, probably aren't running right now. Oh, they are running just a little bit. So we were talking in a previous episode, last episode I think, or the episode before, and then in the comments about the power prioritization and what power generation is used in what priority. And it's pretty definitive that the geothermal is used first. But no one really knows if there's another priority in there or not. And I'm guessing there's not. At least it's not obvious. Because we don't have that much geothermal, and I'm assuming the nuclear is running right now as well. So, but we are using a bit closer to 4 gigawatts now. I mean, these use a bit of power. What is it? Transportation 10? So that's not even, I mean, we put, I don't know, half a dozen of these down. So it's not that much. But I think, yeah, I think that's kind of the way it's going to be. And I just thought of something. I don't know that I wanted bus A to be the one that comes this way. Maybe I should have made this bus B, because if I want one to go over there and go off that edge down to where the quartz mines are from the mall, then that one should have been A, because I don't want these crisscrossing, because they're all in the same height. Oh, watch your head. Watch your head again. Oh, and now we're really messed up. Thunk. So maybe that one that goes all the way down there should have been B, and we should have A here going kind of to that intermediate spot by where the quartz is. That doesn't undo a lot of what we did, so that's good. So we can put that in, but I think at this point we might want to end the episode, and I can do some more of this off screen, off the episode, and then come back in the next one and kind of show what I've done with the hypertubes. Do any other finish up we want to do, and then I want to look at where else we should have the sinks consuming items for overflow. So thank you all for joining me today, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.